Today's episode is all about Dubsado packages and payment plans and how they really integrate and work together to help you set up your Dubsado as a whole, as well as your business as a whole. Hello, you're listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. This podcast is for high achieving, courageous women who want growth and the know-how to scale their business online. Running a business is a journey and a process. The more we learn in action, the more we succeed. If you're a woman in business, this is the podcast for you. Be in the 5% of businesses that make it. Let's get bold and create the life we desire. I'm bringing my passion to you through advice, coaching, inspiration, and support to help you create and design the life and business you want to live. I am a Dubsado expert, CPD certified in social media platforms, and a lover of admin systems and processes. I am an accredited ICF coach, specialising in trauma and narcissism. My own coaching journey has supported my growth immensely, and I want to share those highlights with you to inspire and give you courage. Let's get intentional with our goals and make them happen. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Courageous Goals podcast. So today we are going to be talking about packages and payment plans within Dubsado. Are you one of those service providers who have all of your packages outlined? You know how they work. They may have a name for each of your package. You may have an exact price that you work to with each of your packages, and you know exactly what they entail. I can hold my hands up here very, very high and say that I never had my packages completely outlined from the start. I am a recovering people pleaser, which might entertain you. But right at the beginning of business, I didn't have my packages outlined. I didn't know exactly what they looked like or even what I offered. Some of you might know I started out as a VA. So I worked as a traditional VA, as a tech VA, as a social media VA, as an anything VA. I then went down the route of working in social media. So then people sort of knew me as social media because I did a course with Tech Pixies. I then dived into the more traditional route of VA stuff. I then found that tech was really my thing. I love tech, like systems and processes and things like that. And then I found Dubsado, and oh my gosh, everything changed when I found Dubsado. So I am a huge lover of processes and having them in place now that I really know how to use them from a self-employment point of view as a service provider. And when I started, just before I started working with Dubsado, I really started to outline my packages and how they would look depending on what people needed, what they wanted. But I also created my own packaging with pricing because I didn't know what that was at the beginning, and I kind of just was open to it. When you start out in business, you just want the clients in, really. But yes, I got really comfortable with outlining what my packages were. Then when Dubsado came along, I was more easily able to implement what those packages looked like within Dubsado. So in Dubsado, there is a section called packages, and this is where you will outline what your packages are. So at the moment, I have a Dubsado leveled up package. I have a Dubsado light package. I also have other things that I do as a tech VA still, because I still have past clients that I did VA work for. And I really have those packages outlined. I know how much they are, what's involved in each one. I know every single step, from start to finish, and they work really well for me. So I have those all set up. In addition, payment plans. Within Dubsado, you're able to offer payment plans that also send out reminders. So you might have clients who like to pay for things upfront in one go. Great, that's done. They'll get one invoice and they'll potentially get reminders if they haven't paid. In addition, you have payment plans, so you can set these up how you want them to work. Now, that can be a 50-50 option where they pay 50% now and 50% halfway through a project or even at the end. In addition, you might have payment plans that work fortnightly, monthly, however it works for you. And in addition to that, you can have the reminders set up with each of those plans. So if you know that you've got a client that pays on the first of every month or an invoice every first of the month, but they don't always pay on the first, they will get a reminder potentially 7 days later, potentially at 10 days later, 14 days later, whatever it is, so that it works for you in your business, so that you're not sat there in your inbox writing out all of these emails saying, hello, client A, your payment was due on blah, 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 and writing all these details down, because really that's a lot of admin work that you've got to work out and sit there collating, and there's just so much that goes with it. But when you have these things in place and they are set up automatically, it saves so much time, it really does. And in addition, that goes with how you're paid. Initially I had I accepted BACS payments, so people paid directly to my bank, and some people still do, but I now also have the option of using Stripe, which automates with Dubsado. So if they use the Stripe option to pay, when they get their invoice, they just click on the button Pay Now, and they can automatically add their details in. Dubsado have seen they paid, and then they tick it off in your Dubsado project. So you can see automatically in your projects that you have been paid. Whereas my BACS clients who still pay directly into my bank, it doesn't connect with Dubsado in that way. But that's okay, that's just a quick fix. So when you bank, I have my Starling bank that notifies me to say so-and-so has paid. I just go into my Dubsado project and add a payment to say so-and-so has paid, I don't know, £500, done, tick. And it's as simple as that. It literally takes about 30 seconds, not even that. So your packages and payment plans really work well together, because when you also send your proposals to your potential clients who are signing up with you, they can choose the package that you have set up within your proposals, and you can set certain payment plans with those packages if you choose to, or you can choose to speak with your client about this in your discovery call and ask them what sort of payment would be best for them. And then initially you can go and set that up in the background. So once they've selected their package in the proposal, you can then go and attach a payment plan to their invoice. And then after, their invoice will then be generated and sent to them along with their contract. And the contract and the payment plan and the invoice all work together because it's all pulled in with like smart fields and all sorts. So it really works well together. And it's a really good way of getting paid on time and not having to do all the admin and chase everything up. So they really do work very well together. So it's also a very good way to keep an eye on your growth. So within Dubsado, there is a reporting section where you can keep an eye on your financials and any outstanding invoices. You can look at your chart of accounts, so look at your income and expenses and everything as a whole. And you can even set monthly or annual goals to track your progress. So if you're one of those that are potentially earning, say, 2k a month and you'd like to get to 5k, you could set yourself new goals each month to slowly build up to those goals. And obviously Dubsado can't get you new clients itself. You have to do that work to get your clients in. It's not a miracle worker. If only it was, that'd be amazing. But the idea is it can give you that little accountability and that little push to think, right, actually, Leanne, I'd like to make this extra amount a month. So how can we, it will get you thinking, how can you do that? And it might make you think, right, I really want to achieve that goal this month. So you'll go out there, find some way to market yourself, market your services, and talk about what it is that you do and show that you're an expert in it, so that you can achieve those goals that you have set within Dubsado. So the other way that you can use these particular things, the packages and the payment plans, as I've already mentioned, reminders, it does that automatically for you. So there's no more like awkward emails that you might not like sending. I know I didn't at the beginning. You have the payment processing, so you can connect it with Stripe, Square or PayPal. Or if you don't want to do that and get charged any fees, again, you can just have those things not connected to Dubsado and just use your backs payment on your invoice. And you can also give clients the option to add a tip, which is called a gratuity. So when they make a payment, they can choose to tip you if they wish. And also you have the option to add discounts. So if you're offering something like a Black Friday offer or a New Year offer or anything like that, you can set up discounts within your packages. So if you head over to discounts, you'll see it's very straightforward. You can give it a name, you can give it a code, you can work out whether it's a percentage fee or a fixed fee or anything like that, how many times it can be used, if there's an expiry date. There's lots of different ways that you can use the discount section, but that's also very good. So you can give the client the option to add that on themselves, or you can add it onto their invoice depending how you set things up. So that's packages and payment plans. That's just a quick overview of how they work and what they can do. But as you can see, I don't know if you've been listening to the past episodes about Dubsado up until this point, but you can see that this is all about getting all of your different processes in place in different areas, because the last episode that I'll talk about with Dubsado will be about workflows, and the workflows can only work if you've got all of these different areas set up together. But the idea is to save you time and to save you spending so much more time on admin and sending emails backwards and forwards and adjusting packages if that's not what you like to do and you just want a straightforward package and you know what to expect, or all these different things that you might think about in business and the way that you work as a business owner. So I hope this was beneficial for you. If you've got any questions, again, I do the Ask Me Anything posts on Wednesdays all over social media and within my Facebook group. So please do head on over if you have any questions. And if you'd like to know more about what I do, head over to the website. You're welcome to drop me an email. And I hope you look forward to the next couple of episodes, because this is where it starts to get interesting. Thank you so much for listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode and taken something of value for you. If you'd love more advice, coaching, inspiration and support, head on over to join many other courageous women in business in our free community group over on Facebook. We'd love to welcome you. You can also find free useful resources over on the website at leannebrown.com/resources. Right, that's all for this week. I look forward to sharing another episode with you next week.